Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears that don't discriminate. I take a carbon chop to circumnavigate. Steal my heart and let it percolate all night, all right. Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears.
Welcome back. It is your two favorite bears to hibernate with and to wake up with. I just saw a children's book, 10 Bears in a Bed. So we are your two bears in a bed, just waiting for you. It's the favorite show of so many people now, bears of a certain age, and we are back. How are you?
I'm good. I can only hope to be in a bed with you and someone else, huh? Let's have some fun.
I
Goodness
saw that
gracious.
children's book. I was like, 10 bears in a bed? Where's that happening? Sounds just about right. Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to be back. We had a great interview with Billy Clift last week, and
Right?
he's always so much fun to talk to. And talk about a handsome bear I wouldn't mind being in bed with.
Oh
Hello.
my God. He's ageless, is what he is.
Teeny patootie boyfriend, so that's okay.
Right? We tend to, apparently we tend to bring guests on that don't ever get older.
I know, exactly. And we don't bring ones that are single, which is our mistake. We got to fix that
Problem.
soon.
We need to fix it. Yeah. No, we just need to go to Palm Springs. We'll find our own. It's fine.
There you go. Who did I just see was playing Palm Springs Pride that I was all excited about? Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I saw someone too.
Someone.
November.
We'll look it up. I know November.
Yeah.
November. We're going to be there. We're going to be there no matter what.
It'll be
someone
amazing.
iconic is going to be there, and I'll look it up during the show. We'll see who it is.
Oh, I love a good iconic. Iconic bear, especially, but we'll take it. But we're excited. You know, we get a lot of comments on our show still. I just talked about
great.
it. Yeah, I talked about it at an event I did, and everybody's like, oh, I need to see this. I'm like, all right. Yeah, you should. You should see this. You
this
should
is their show, too. We
Take
just
it.
have to be the handsome face of it, but it's their show. We're here for them.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I don't mind being a pretty face. It works.
There you go.
But this is fun. This is just, you and I try to do, we try to have guests now and then, and we try to just hang out and talk about random stuff as well. And this is going to be one of those. Those are fun shows.
There's so much going on in the world, and you and I have no penchant for not talking. So, guests are great. But I think there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. And I think we're still introducing ourselves and we're getting to know our listeners a bit. So it's kind of fun just to chat a bit. I like it.
Exactly. And I would like to point everybody's focus on the professional Oprah cards.
I am loving. I feel I have a sorted live candle. Does that help? That's all best I can do.
I didn't Sorted Lives has a candle. I love that. What's it smell like? Regret?
Exactly. Regret and whiskey's whiskey from Brother Boy's little boa.
Oh, I love Brother Boy. Oh my God. I love it. Well, we've started like little segments, you and I. And one of the segments that people really kind of resonate with is this idea of bear hugs. And so someone the other day was asking me, like, how do you describe what is bear hugs? And so I was just telling them, listen, there's a lot of negativity in the world. This is your opportunity to send out some gratitude, send out a special hug. And it can be celebrities. It can be your next door neighbor. It can be your boyfriend. It's just a moment to say, I want to send out a bear hug to these people. You know what I mean?
You had a bartender that was really cool to you at the bar last week, and you want to give him a shout out, right? Or you went to the Pleasure Chest on Santa Monica Boulevard and had some really good service. Who knows?
Really good service.
Wait a second.
Right.
The air quote.
Even had we actually have a lovely lady that sent in that said, does she have to be a gay bear? You can be a bear of the female. We don't care. It's all about spreading the love.
We're all inclusive listeners. It can be bears, it can be chubs, it can be otters, it could be females who just love to chat with us. I mean, we like them all, right? How
It could
fun.
be a twink, but the bears might eat you. Just saying.
There we go.
Exactly. In all the good ways. But I had some people write in and give us some bear hugs, and I think that it's a beautiful way to start. You know what I mean?
I believe so. Yeah, share those.
Okay, so let me see. Oh, this is to Kurt. So he deserves a bear hug. That's debatable. He deserves a bear hug. He does a great job putting things together with infinite patience and wisdom and makes us all look great. And that is from a counselor named Holly McGinnis. So he's lucky I put that in there.
I love that, though. Kurt is our behind the scenes guy. You can sometimes see a finger in the background if we're lucky. Wave to the camera, Kurt. Can we see you? Can you reach?
Come around and wave.
Give a reach around. Give Jonny a reach around and wave hello.
There he is. There's the Kurt.
Yay!
I love that you let the mic just block your face.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I'm behind the scenes.
That was nice. It was nice to get that letter, and you know, I've known you for far too long, so I'm like, did you say patience? No, Holly was so sweet. She thought that that we get most of the attention, so she wanted to give that. I'm like, that's true.
It deserves a big bear hug. Yay!
Exactly. I
gotta think of something to go with it. There's like snaps for some things. I don't know what a bear hug equals. What's a?
We'll have to come up with a sign language thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So everybody remember, you also can send us a note. You can send it to our Gmail account, which is podcastbears@gmail.com. You can go to our Instagram page. You can find either one of us on Facebook. If you want to give out a note of gratitude to someone, hey, do it here. We also had a gentleman by the name of Anthony Singleton. Says, my bear hug is to all the people in my life that help make my dreams of being a comedian come true. People don't see all the love and support it takes to work full-time and do 4 to 6 open mics a week. Well, that was nice.
That's very nice. And he deserves a big bear hug. I'm glad he did it to himself. We don't praise ourselves enough. Sometimes we have to do some self-love, right? I don't think we practice self-love enough. And when you're working your little buddies off doing 4 open nights, 5 open nights a week, plus a full-time job, thank you. You deserve a hug.
And, you know, it takes a lot when you follow the things you're passionate about. You know what I mean? So I feel a little silly to read this one, but I'll do it anyways. To Maddie Danielson, for people who don't know who Maddie is, he runs Spokane Pride. Our Pride has become bigger and bigger. Every year we beat the year before. We had 62,000 people in town this past Pride, which is huge. And Maddie Danielson is the head of that, and he's an amazing guy. So this says to Maddie Danielson. It also says to Jonathan Shuffield, we'll see if he deserves this, for all the work you do in our community. And that's from Adrian Yanis. So very nice. So I like that people want to be, you know, they want to send out some love. We deserve it.
And we all nice deserve to start on a positive note. There's so much negativity out there.
There's so much
positivity.
Everybody deserves someone to do. I kind of like it that people can send out a random bear hug. That's kind of fun.
I love it. I had to sit through 2 hours of a Republican debate last week. I deserve some bear hugs in my life.
Why? You sat to it for your shows, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just a politics junkie, and so even if I have to hate watch something, I'll hate watch it.
Right. I watched the highlights after, and it made me so sick.
Right.
Awful, and terrifying as well.
It is. It's just sad.
The minute they take office, if a Republican takes office, there's going to be a nationwide abortion ban. That's all of them agree. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't. So good for you, because I couldn't have stomached it at all. So yeah, I'll watch Under the Desk News, or I'll watch Rachel Maddow. I'll get, you know. At least I love them, so they'll make it nicer. But
poor Rush Limbaugh when he was alive, bless his heart. I would hate listening to him. I had a car that only got AM radio for a long time.
Oh
So I was
shit!
stuck in the afternoon listening to Rush Limbaugh. I hate listening to him so hard, but
Right?
rest in peace, Rush. But I
Do
hate
you
listening.
know what's so crazy is that the majority of talk shows on radio are conservative.
Oh,
They are not progressive, and that's even in markets like Seattle, which you would think would be very progressive. Nope, it is mostly conservative voices. That's just crazy to me. Time I looked, I think it was 82%, something like that. I'd have to, but that was years ago. It's probably worse now.
I'm such a political junkie that I always think I want to do a political show until I do one. Then it depresses me so much that I get really pissed off. I did a
Right?
show one time called The Last 100 Days, which was the 100 day before the last election. And that just
Wow.
depressed me every day for that. And then I thought those people that took over for Rush was, I don't know, Buck something and Clay Sexton or something. It's like, so I thought, well, maybe I'll do a parody Clay Pigeons and Buckshot, just ripping on their. I just can't talk politics that long a time
It's
in a
so
row
hard.
without getting pissed
We
off.
did when we got into the like broadcasting game. We had a show that was all politics all the time. It was called Outspoken, which is great. But we did that show for 4 years. I am done now. It burns you out. And then our final year was the election in 2016, and it was like it just killed your spirit so bad that I'm like, I don't want to talk to people that yell at me about politics. I don't want to do it anymore because it's hard. It's tough.
I'm a political junkie, but I don't like talking about it anymore. I've like really
Right?
I've toned it down a lot.
Well, look at what happened to that poor woman up at is it Arrowhead, Lake Arrowhead in California,
Oh,
who was killed just because she had a pride flag in the front window. I mean, that's terrifying. When someone thinks they have a right to kill you because of you just showing support for a group of people, that's awful.
total ally, had 9 children, had a
Huh?
husband,
Yeah.
and the beautiful thing that came out. Did you see the little pride flag they designed for her though?
Oh no, huh?
Oh, it's so cute. It's a pride flag that the rainbows in where the stars usually are. And
Oh,
I
that's
forget what the
awesome.
other stripes are, but they put a big black magpie amongst the rainbow because that was what her store was called, Magpie.
Yes.
And
Oh
so
my,
they made a special flag just to commemorate her.
that's
I thought it was such a classy thing for someone to do.
oh,
And
for
that,
real.
that was
And
for
needed. So I had been to Lake Arrowhead. I have stayed in Big Bear, which is just south
right.
of Lake Arrowhead. Beautiful community. But I remember the last time I was there thinking, wow, there seems to be a lot of conservativeness that was trying to encroach. And then something like that happens. I'm like, that's so sad. It was both of the communities were such a progressive and kind of like hippie adjacent. It was my kind of vibe. And it changed a lot. So that
Yeah,
makes me
Big
sad.
Bear was a big gay bastion for a while. A lot of people rent cabins up there. A
Right?
lot of porn was filled up there. But it was a great vacation spot because it did have snow when you wanted it. It had a great summer where it wasn't too cold, but you had the lake right there.
Yeah.
And Lake Arrowhead is a lot more conservative. My friend's brother lived there, and it's a
Wow.
lot.
Yeah, that's what was amazing about living in, as you know, living in Southern California. They always we always talk about how, well, if you want snow, you can go to snow, and that's
Right.
kind of like what Big Bear was and going Lake Arrowhead, because you can get cabins up there in the winter, and if you want the beach, well, you just go the other direction. You know, you can get any weather you want. Maybe not for much longer. It seems like weather is changing a lot.
Right.
Yeah, terrifying. But yeah, that was sad. But also, Big Bear, I celebrated there because, of course, you put a bunch of bears in the woods. What's going to happen? You're going to shoot porn. That's just what.
There's a Big Bear event that goes on in Big Bear too. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember when I took my other podcast to Palm Springs last time, they
Yeah.
were doing some kind of a bear weekend while I was there, and I already had stuff planned. I couldn't go up there for it, but I know they have some stuff up there in Big Bear sometimes.
Listen, we need more people. Should comment and give us more bear events that are out and about in this world of ours, because we need to start making road trips. We need some bear.
Which, I mean, we've been talking to our friends at Bear World, John over at Bear World magazine. I mean, I love their magazine, and they put on so many great events throughout the years. And Jonny and I are trying to get a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'd love to come up there sometime. But their big Bear Weekend in Florida is happening September 22nd or something. And I think they just announced Coco Peru is going to be one of the headliners there. I love my little Coco.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I think they need to let us go. My birthday is right then, so they should send us for Johnny's birthday.
There you go. 2024, the Bears of a certain age wants to be a special guest host of something at the Bear World.
We will ingratiate ourselves into the world. Well, actually, if you haven't checked out Bear World magazine, you should, because on September 1st, they're doing their sex issue, and they asked us to give some sex advice for the bears. So we did. So we'll be in there.
I think it comes out exactly on September 1st, and we kind of gave you a little hint for a little something there of what needs to be done. But I'm glad to have Bear World magazine out there. I mean, it's such a needed thing. John is the editor, is doing a great job. I mean, before we had the two husbands work it for such a long time.
I know, yeah. Well, I had forgotten that. So I'd forgotten I had met John. I had also forgotten that I'm really good friends with his husband, who ran everything for a very long time. But John's amazing, and I love it because he's got that little, he's got like a tongue-in-cheek attitude, a little sassy. I love that about him. He's also, as you know, he's the nicest man when you meet him in person. Just the kindest. He is a big old teddy bear, which is why he is so popular. You know what I mean?
He's such a supporter of everybody. I mean, he is just genuinely enthused and happy to talk to people.
I know, and I love him so much. That's some husbands that need to be out there a lot. It'll give us hope. You and I, we will find our coupling.
They're there happen somewhere. I don't know. We'll have to have a matchmaker on the show sometime. How fun would that be?
Yeah, let's do that and be like,
Patty Stanger, come on and
how the process goes. You know, just it's for scientific purposes.
There you go. Just for research only. Pure research.
Exactly. Oh, well, that's funny because it had brought up, before we get into the next part, I was having this conversation this week about chemistry and the kind of people you like. Now, if you're me, you're a big old hoe and you date the rainbow. Mine is way more about connection and personality, and I find most of men. But what kind of guy are you into? Are you into the Twinkies? Are you into the otters? What are you into?
I am more, like I said, as I've been embracing my daddy self, I've been getting a little more into the twinks and otters and the younger types of that. But I'm like you. I'm based on the personality. If I have someone that talks to me and I think's a great personality and likes coffee and likes movies, and I'm open to any kind of a date and see where it goes from there. I mean, I'm all about connecting up here as much as down there.
We do need to get you a t-shirt that says "You can call me daddy." I think you need that t-shirt in your life. Because it'd be perfect, you know.
Not opposed to it.
What reminds me because someone said, well, you would date another bear? Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. But it reminds me of an old joke Ellen DeGeneres used to say about penguins, about how, you can't tell penguins apart. So, the wife can be over here going, I think he's with me. I think that's me. And I'm like, that's how it'll go for me too. I think I know him. We're married, but because we all look alike is basically the joke. But
you talked a couple of weeks ago, you were dating someone for a while, and you guys kind of mutually turned it off. Are you okay not dating? Are you the kind of person that has to be in a relationship or always searching for one? Or
no. I probably err too much on that side, to be honest, because I'm just a busy guy. I'm an independent guy. I'm very headstrong and I have goals. And so that goal does not always include, is a man nice? Yes. When you find one, yes. But, I wouldn't turn my world upside down to find it. So although I was sad that ended, but I wasn't. Someone asked me, were you devastated? No. Listen, I can care about someone. It was early enough. But yeah, I'm bad. I've been single. Let me see. The longest span of time I was single was 9 years, and I ain't getting younger. So but I just, it's not on my mind. So how
Right.
long's it been?
I've been single now it's been over a year and a half, probably over 2 years now. I got to look and see. It's been a while.
It's
And I'm the same thing. I'm at the point now, it's like, if you set the
right.
thermostat too high, we're not going to get along for the long term.
Yes,
It's
it's
like
true.
I'm so set in my ways now, where I have to there's a little criteria you have to meet that's a little petty on
Yes.
myself.
That's why, daddy having a boy might not be a bad idea. You can train those. You
There
can,
you go,
right?
exactly.
Well, I have a
Couple
friend who
years of training wheels, we'll knock the training wheels off, and we'll be fine.
exactly. Someone always tells me. I have a friend who always tells me that you'll get too used to it. Don't be single for too long. And I think it's kind of like this for me. I'm like, yeah, maybe, but I can be pretty flexible. Daters out there, you hearing me? I can be pretty flexible. I can be pretty flexible, but I'm always going to need someone who understands that I am busy and that it doesn't mean I don't care about you and that, we can balance it. I need an adult relationship. So,
Right.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we talked the other day about that Stan Chris guy. His name's Chris, and his husband's Bert, I think. And
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
always thought that he was his sugar daddy, that Bert was his sugar daddy or whatever, because it's like that TikTok guy, he's making jillions of dollars on TikTok, that Chris guy.
Oh,
I'm nothing about the money. I love that it's really that they each have their own thing. I mean, Bert and I hope his name's Bert. I keep thinking it's Bert for
I
some reason.
think it is. I think it
Brett,
is.
maybe it's Brett. Could be Brett.
Uh,
Um, but it's like, but he's a lieutenant in the police department, and then Chris does his videos and things. It's like they each have their very own separate lives. I need that. I have to have
Right.
a separate life. I will love you all day, all night long, but I
Exactly.
need some time apart, hon. You do what you need to do. Let Daddy do what he needs to do, and then we'll get together and have a nice meal afterwards.
Because it's kind of fun. Because what would you have to talk about if it was like you were constantly with that person? You know what I mean? It's fun to kind of bring the life back. Because I have this whole thing where I do not believe in the phrase that someone completes you. That does not work for me. Someone can enhance you. They bring
Yeah,
their full lives. You bring your full life, and you make it more fun and amazing together. But I'm not missing anything that I need someone to, you know what I mean, to
right.
complete. I want to come into it as this is Jonathan's dating tips. I just want to come into it as a full human, and because then I can celebrate their world and what they do as well as them celebrating mine. But I mean, this is also coming from the guy who's been single for a while. So.
Yeah, but that's a great word, though. I love enhance more than complete, because
Right?
you want someone that's going to make you better. You want to make someone else better, right? You want to
Exactly.
enhance each other. You don't want to complete them. Complete is a finished thing. No one wants to be a finished
Yeah.
product. You need to
It's
grow, right?
like someone else has the ability to fix pieces inside you. The only people who can fix pieces inside us are us.
Right.
You're the only one with the keys. You're the only ones with any of it. But you made an interesting point. Or we were talking about, as we get older, we like things a certain way and all of that. Well, I recently hosted a big awards banquet for a wonderful magazine in town, and so it's my job to be color commentary. It's my job to tell jokes while I'm doing emceeing the whole night. And so I am known for self-deprecating humor. It's just I don't mind ever playing the fool. Anything for the laugh is what I'm known for. But I was talking about how because I had to get reading glasses out because they didn't have a teleprompter, so it was on paper. What some of the things I had to say, and there's no way. So I get the glasses out. I make some joke that's like a throwaway joke about how it all started when I was 45, and it's all downhill and all these things. And so there's this break where I have, like a 5-minute break before I have to go after I've introduced someone. And this guy, very tall, I remember that he was very tall, and I love me a tall man. Just beelined it through the tables to come see me to reprimand me because he didn't like that I was talking about some negative things about getting older. And so this is what I want to say to that is I get it. And you're right. We need, just like you said earlier, we need to celebrate ourselves more. But also, let's be realistic. I'm just saying, things change. Things change. But I thought this would be a fun time to talk about, you and I, things that we like about getting older. Positivity.
Right. I think there's lots of things to like about it. We brought that up when we were talking last couple of days, and I think that's so true. I mean, there's a lot of everyone talks about the age thing, but a lot of us, our ages, I mean, we talk about it in the gay community. I think there's even quotes about it, how because we're so in the closet for so long at first, we're kind of starting a little later anyway. So us 35, 40-year-olds were like the 18-year-olds that didn't kind of get free.
Yeah.
So I think that we have a longer lifespan, quote unquote, on kind of learning how to get things done and how to explore new things. And we have a little more adventurous spirit. That's what I like about it.
Especially,
I'm up for a lot.
I mean, because we were a lot of us were repressed for so long, and then we finally burst out of the closet. That is true. I think the thing I like, and I hope this is true, I think because you have more life experience, I think it makes you more interesting. You know what I mean? Also, you learn a little bit of patience because, you know, it's not your first time around the block. So I feel like I can bring more to a friendship, a relationship, you know, a bedroom, just because, you know what I mean? And I actually like that. I like that I have a little more knowledge than I did when I was 24. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I honestly like the responsibility that comes with a bit. I mean, you get to see how other people respond to you. Like I take care of my mother. My mother's 84 years old. I think that's a positive thing. I mean, it's great to be able to help someone else out and do things other because you come from that experience, right? You had people helping you, and it's a great place. I think when you're older, you're a little more set, you're a little more know what's going on in life, and you can give a little more of yourself freely than when it's all about building the next big thing and building a career, building this and building that. Now you can kind of learn to accept where you're at, to kind of help other people. I like that part of it as well. Get a little more comfortable in my skin.
I feel like I was just boomeranging around everything you were saying because when you said responsibility, that to me is like adulting, and I was out. I hate it. I hate adulting. I mean, I do it because we have to, but I was like, no. But I do like the thought of being able to be there for someone, especially someone that I care about. That I don't have a problem with. But there's something, I get real tired of that bill coming again just 30 days later. I mean, it's just how it goes. But I will say, sometimes adulting makes me cranky.
Adulting is not always fun. I will definitely give you that. And it's changed so much. I mean, we're not in you get that pension from GE. You've worked in the same job for 30 years. Even as 30, 40, 50-year-olds, we're changing jobs a little more just because a lot of companies are looking for different things and there's different marketing. Social media is a big part of marketing these days for established companies. And it doesn't necessarily need to be younger to do these things, but you do have to learn and grow with them. And people are not staying in the same way. People aren't happy being in their same cities. I don't mind moving. I proudly call myself a vagabond. I don't mind picking up and moving around.
I love that. Like for my whole life until I came back here, but I've only been here 2 years, so who knows? But I love just being, you know, you live in different states because it's like a new slate you have, but also it's just fun because of I love the experiences of each one. I always tell people like you came back because I was here, then I moved to LA for a few years, then I came back here. I don't regret LA at all. LA was pricey and expensive, but there were things I experienced there that I will never experience anywhere else. And I mean, that will forever keep you young. You know what I mean? Always growing and always learning and always trying new experiences. So I hope more people, if you don't do that, give it a go. You know, we have written plenty of romantic comedies about this. So it does feel like anytime there's a romantic comedy that has to do with older people, it's this lesson that they're, you know what I mean? It's our only storyline, apparently. But it's true though. Get out there, try something new. You're only as stuck as you let yourself. And so I love that. I love it.
I love it. Like I said, I've lived 18 different places, I think, in my lifetime. It's been a lot. A lot of it was because I was in the restaurant business in a previous life, and you get transferred and bebopped
Right.
around a lot when you're in corporate structures
Exactly.
like that. But I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, it was nice to, like you said, you explore new places. I'm
Yeah.
always out to find a new coffee shop and a new restaurant to explore. I
Yeah.
love that kind of stuff.
It's funny, and it's fun when your coworkers or new friends will start asking you, and you drop stories, and they're like, "Oh, when I was in Tulsa, when I lived in Denver, when I lived," and they're just like, "What the hell?" And you just want to be like, "Try it. It's fun."
Right.
I love that. Well, I do agree that there are not all bad things to getting older. There are I call them challenges, but nothing. It's not all bad things. It can be a lot of fun. Especially if you embrace your "you can call me daddy" era.
There you go. Exactly.
I love that. So I wanted to play a fun little game.
Let's do it.
We call it barefaced. Things that you're faced with, phobias that you're faced with. And the first few of these, I want to know if this was actually happening to you, how would you seriously react in that moment?
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you were faced this, and they're very simple, but they're actual phobias. They're from the top 10 phobias in America. If you were
Okay.
faced with a frickin' tarantula in your house, and I mean the big old tarantula, what would you do?
There would be a bowl on top of it, and I would be calling my real estate person.
How can you get that close? That would kill
Oh,
me. I would be terrified.
I am not a bug person. When I moved to Ohio, I met a best friend here, and we just got along great. We decided we were going to move someplace together, and he said, "Let's go to Florida." And I said, "Let's go to Florida."
Oh,
And so
yes.
we called Florida, and every apartment building in Florida came included with exterminator once a month exterminator. It's like, if that's a state that has to have an exterminator included in your rent every month, that's too much bugs for me. I
Yeah.
can't move to that state. I've never been to Florida ever because I will not go to bugs. I
I
refuse.
would not do
Yeah,
that.
a
No.
tarantula would not be work good for me. I am
No.
not good with creepy crawly things.
I once thought I saw a gigantic, and I mean huge, gray spider, and I slept in my car because I was mortified. And then the next morning, I went upstairs. And I'm like, it's still there. And then I discovered, oh, it was just dryer lint that had just all accumulated on. I was like, I slept in my car for that. Yeah, there's the old joke that I used to tell my friends all the time that I was super proud of myself. Like, I got up and I went to take a shower and there was a spider in there, but I very calmly got a tissue and then burned the house down.
I love
I'm
that.
like, that's appropriate. That is appropriate.
I'm not afraid to go up to one to cover it or something like that. I hate, like, don't you hate if you go to bed and you see one crawling across the ceiling or
Yep,
something?
I can't go to sleep.
I have to wait until I see it disappear, or I have to go into another room and sleep because I don't
Yes,
like that.
exactly.
Because it's like, I don't want to know what's going on if I can't see it.
Nope. I actually had a conversation with a spider last night, and I said, "You need to get your ass out of this place, or I will kill you when I find you. You will die." I'm giving you, courtesy, but no. The other day there was such a gigantic one because right now we have wolf spiders in our area, and they like to, when it's super hot, which we've had 100-degree days. They like to come inside where it's cooler. And there was one on the wall, and I was mortified, but I felt really brave that morning. So I took a box and I went at it. That thing was so gigantic. When the box and it fell down, it just crawled out from under the box. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I smashed you. No, I did not. No. And my dog doesn't care. He was just like, that's my buddy. I'm good. Oh, I'm not as, the older I get, the less fear I have of things because I'm tired. So, like, I used to be terrified of bees, but I'm like, I don't have the energy to run. So, it's a little like spiders, but I don't need them to live in my house. They need, especially wolf spiders.
Creepy crawlers. I can get away
Nope.
with wasps and mosquitoes and bees, but I don't like creepy crawlies.
Kurt's trying to pretend he's a spider over here, so that's not cool, dude. What about sharks? Another top phobia in the U.S. is sharks.
I would say it's becoming more so. Before Jaws, never.
Of course, we didn't know to be
I'm a
afraid
Southern
of
California boy, right? I grew up in Southern California, went to the beach a lot. I would go out body surfing, no problem with it.
Wow.
After Jaws, I was cautious, but I wasn't paranoid. Now I'm a little more, I don't like it. I'll still go out, but it's like I'm not excited by it, but I'm not scared as much.
Yeah, see, I have, because of Jaws, that's why I don't know how to swim. Because I was so young. My parents showed it to me at like 3 years old. Why would you do that to your 3-year-old? So, even afraid of sharks finding their way into the pool. And then I discovered that bull sharks can go into fresh water. And I'm like, no, sharks are after me. I'm like, we have huge rivers here. Beautiful Columbia River goes through. I'm like, no, there are probably bull sharks waiting to kill me. So, no.
If I see one, I'm freaked out. Like if I'm at the ocean and I'll go out and bodyboard back in and everything, no problem. But if I'm in like a lake and I can see fish swimming around near my feet, I don't like.
Oh yeah,
that freaks me out. Yeah,
I don't. It's kind of like that. Have you ever seen the spa treatments where they have a bunch of little fish that eat things off your toes? You put your feet in there. I don't like it.
No, I've never heard of that before. That's a phobia by itself.
Yes.
No.
Isn't that crazy? But I will say, it doesn't get better. I used to take my dog to the beach in Santa Monica. And if he wanted to go in the water, I was like, no, you are the perfect bite-sized snack. Do not go. There's just going to be a great white waiting offshore. Just waiting. Yeah, it would terrify me. So, no, I don't do it either. Although I'll watch shark documentaries till the day is long for some reason. Like, I like to freak myself out. But I do that. Okay, so this is another big phobia, but I encapsulated it into a scenario. So you'll know what phobia it is when we get to it. But you can have $250 million, but you have to get across the expanse of the Grand Canyon using just a tightrope. So obviously this is a fear of heights. So let's say you have to cross that huge expanse. What's your reaction?
I would not do it. I am only afraid of heights on the edge. I'm not afraid of heights and caps. I can go on a plane, no problem. Look out the window all night long. I can go. I can go in a ride, like I can go in a roller coaster that I feel that I'm pulled in on. Have no problem whatsoever, and I think it's right. But being on the edge, looking over something, freaks me out. I've been to the Empire State Building, freaks me out to look over it. My dad in LA worked on the 44th floor of a building, and LA buildings, because of earthquake, they sway a bit. And he had these big windows you could sit in, and I couldn't go by the edge of the window in his office to see things move. That would freak me out. But if I feel enclosed, I have no problem with heights whatsoever. But I can't be on the edge.
But I agree with all of that, except that no one told me about buildings in LA, and I got a job, and I was on the 30-something floor, and I remember the first time, and no one warned me. That freaked me the hell out. Yeah, this building, because automatically I'm thinking, oh, we're going to die. Waiting for that. But so I'm the same as you. Most things, with heights, I can do planes and everything. But you know what ride I cannot do is a Ferris wheel. Once you get me to the top of the Ferris wheel and that's open air and everything, I'm just convinced I'm going to spontaneously jump out or something. Yeah, it's too much.
I can do the Ferris wheel, but did you ever go to Knott's Berry Farm to the parachute drop?
Wait, no, I don't know about this. What is this?
Knott's Berry Farm is about 20 miles from Disneyland, and it's another park. And they have the parachute drop where it takes you up 2 or 3 football fields, and then you're in a little square cage, and then it drops you down. And the parachute kind of opens. I can't do that. Freaks me out.
I've been in similar things. When I was in Disneyland like 20 years ago, I was a very large boy. And I went in that one where everybody's sitting around in a circle and they take you up to the top of this tower and then they drop you and then pick you up and drop you and pick you up. But the person was not very, they started it and I hadn't had my seatbelt all the way latched. So we've all seen the videos of that little kid who's halfway out. That was me. I mean, that wasn't me, the kid, but oh yeah. And I was like, I thought for sure, listen, things like this happen to me. So I'm like, yeah, this is how I die. This is it. Because now that's terrifying to me. I would never do, but like Tower of Terror, I loved it, but there were strangers sitting beside me and I'm automatically instinct, I'm just grabbing everybody. So they didn't love that. So I make myself do things that scare me, but that's terrifying. I would not, I don't care if it was $250 million, definitely not go over on a tightrope. Ever. Maybe a gondola, but not a tightrope.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
All right, my friend, we have to wrap it up today. We're running out of time here.
We are. And before we go, I do want to share one thing. Do you know there's a phobia that is a fear of bears? Why? Why would you be afraid of us? And it's called acoudophobia. So we are here to help the lovely people who are afraid of bears get over it and embrace us. But yes, don't be
Matata for us. We're Hakuna Matata. Forget Hakuna whatever.
Right? Exactly. Isn't that crazy? So there, I had to share that little bit of information.
I absolutely love it. Well, Jonny, I can't believe we've had an hour go already, but we got to kind of head off. We got so much other stuff going on. Guys, thanks for listening to Bears of a Certain Age. What's happening on the Queer Centric this week, Jonny?
We have Jonathan Slavin is coming up, and I love Jonathan Slavin. He's been on Better Off Ted. He's Santa Clarita Diet, Speechless, and he's the sweetest, nicest man. He rescues every animal you could ever see, including a 400-pound pig that lives in his house. But he's such a sweetheart, and he has a new play because he's not crossing the picket lines. So Jonathan Slavin's going to be on the show, and I'm really excited to talk to him because I love him. Absolutely love him.
Nice. Well,
what's going on in your 80 shows?
I have Scott Evan Davis coming on, and Scott is an amazing Broadway composer and producer, but we probably know him best as the snarky TikTok guy that drinks the coffee and gives you his little snarky thing.
Yes.
He's amazing.
I love him.
Yeah. So
he needs to write your show a little Broadway tune.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'll have to ask him. That'll be great.
That would be awesome. Well, exciting.
All right, well, thank you, Kurt. We appreciate it. You deserve the shout out. Thank you.
Kurter. Listen, this has been fun. And we do this every week. So if you guys love the show, if you want to ask us questions, definitely like our socials. Send us a note. Send us some love. Give us some bear hugs. You can send it to podcastbears@gmail.com.
There you go. We appreciate you. Every Wednesday right here, come join us on Bears of a Certain Age. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, it's Scott from Bears of a Certain Age. Surplus is here, the new gay dating app exclusively for us mature men. Jonny and I are excited to have them as our premier community brand partner right here on Bears of a Certain Age. On the Surplus app, where older is always bolder, available now on both Apple and Android phones. We hope you'll join us where you can get the app so you can meet the man.